Hey, and welcome to the Heartbreakers podcast with your hosts, Elsa Jean and James Maas. Okay, hey guys, how are you all doing? Let us know. Wait, this is a one-way communication. You can definitely message us on socials. What are we on socials? We are Heartbreakers with Elsa Jean James. That's what our social is. And then the website is heartbreakerspodcast.com. Let us know your questions. I'm so excited to be here again. I keep getting a loud bag. Thank God I put my name on the damn headline with you. She can't fire me now.
I'm excited to be here again. I really like doing it like in person or like with each other in real life.
Yes,
I know
IRL, as the kids say.
IRL. Oh,
Yeah.
in real life.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Wait, are you
never.
serious? You so much. You're like such. You're young. You should know that.
I should, and I don't talk like that. I don't like, but we'll see. It could be, we got to do them separately. It just feels different at some point with my traveling and your traveling. We'll probably have
It's not
to.
always going to be such a luxury to have.
Majority, I think we're going to be able to do with each other.
Exactly. If the price is right. So advertisers. So what did you do this week?
I just chilled. I'm really trying to catch up on cleaning and just real life stuff.
Yeah, real life. Nothing glamorous.
Nothing glamorous. I travel nonstop, so it's just constant. 2 days here, 1 day here, 3 days here, sometimes a week.
Nice. Good to be home then. Oh my God, I look like a lot.
Always great. I'm a home person, a homebody. I really am. Like, I am at peace when I'm home by myself.
Good.
Yeah. What'd you do?
I actually went to a friend's wedding. It was a bit of a destination, which I hate.
Oh, really?
Good for them,
Why?
and it was nice to do in the end for them. Just destination weddings. They're
Could be a
so
hassle.
yeah. It's like you like come here. We're doing this thing, so like uproot your life and get there. I mean, I'm being a Grinch today, but
When you do destination weddings, do they pay for your ticket or are you?
no, that's the thing. It's just
you
like
have to
all
pay
of a
for your
sudden,
room
it's like
too?
you better come to my wedding, and it's like it's halfway across the world, but you better come.
Yeah.
So anyway, I love them. I'm glad they got married.
Would you get married? And if you did, would you do a destination?
Well, I've been married for 7
Oh,
years, and
right.
I got divorced 2 years ago. So
Wait, that's recent. I didn't realize it was that recent because I've known you for 2 years now.
I know. So I don't
So
think
you
you
were
were.
just getting
Yeah.
divorced. Wow.
I know. You met me at my craziest. Is there any
remember.
memories you have? Oh,
My memory of when I first met you, we went to not Mel's. What was that other one that we used to go to all the time? 24-hour Kitchen.
oh yeah.
Is that
Oh,
what it's
right. I
called?
remember
That's
that.
where
And
I
you
met
just had
you.
your lips
I just had
done.
my lip done. I was really insecure, and they were like, "Don't drink," and I
Did
started
I seem
drinking.
crazy?
No, but I mean, you just your usual self. But we
Because I
never
was
hung
going
out.
through it when I got my divorce first. It was like, and it was right at the pandemic. Like that was in the middle of the pandemic. We definitely were wearing masks then. And yeah, because we ate outside.
Or maybe I've known you for 3 years.
I don't know about that. I think it's been 2 for
Okay.
sure. But yeah, then I moved into an apartment by myself. It was all very dark and gloomy, and like you just like being by myself, being isolated from people because of COVID. So that added to it, but also I just getting divorced is tough, as you would know.
I've been divorced.
Yeah.
My divorces were great though.
Oh, really?
Well,
How
for
long were your
me,
marriages for?
so my first one was an annulment because he was married to someone else, and we were
Really?
only married for 2
He was
weeks.
married to someone else. Was
Someone
that
else.
on
I found
purpose?
it through his phone.
Oh my God! What
Actually,
an
not
idiot
even
to
his
try and get
phone.
married.
Not
Yeah,
even
that's
his
illegal.
phone. He had an old iPhone that he was using as an iPod or whatever, and he didn't have a lock on it. And then I saw photos of a family and everything, and
Oh my! Why would you go the extra mile to get married to some girl? You, if you're with like, he
no
obviously likes you
idea.
enough to do that, but like that's something they have registries for that. I think it's illegal to
It's
get married.
illegal, so it was just annulled because that's fraud.
Yeah.
My one after that was 3 months to a male performer. We were together maybe a total of 6 months.
Does everyone know who that was? Or not really?
Not really, I don't think. And then I'm not gonna shout him out, honestly. Um,
Best to leave that in the past.
yeah, and then after that, I was with someone for 2 years, and we were married for 1 year. And I kept that very secret, not even my family really knows that I mean, now I'm very open about it, but, that one kind of mentally fucked me up a little bit, but that's just what happened within the marriage, it's not the
Yeah.
actual marriage. It would happen if we got married or not.
Did you get to keep the ring 3 times?
Um, the first one I did not, the second one, it was, like, the cheapest ring ever, I lost it, I don't even know where it is, and then, my third one, I sold it.
Mm,
Yeah.
good, good. I totally
Um,
believe in keeping the ring.
my third one, I sold it for 30 grand, so it was actually a decent
So
ring.
you profited from the marriage?
No, because he almost ran me into, debt.
Really?
Yeah, I did not
How?
have a prenup.
Oh,
So,
he wanted your money.
he wrote that
Yeah.
guy,
Oh my
remember? I was married to
god.
him. He did
No
all that music.
way. So why would he be trying to get you into debt if he obviously made a lot of money
He
off
sold
that
all
song?
his rights to the
Yeah.
songs,
Mhm.
and then he lied. He lied and made it seem like he had money, and I didn't marry him for his money.
Yeah.
I genuinely did not, and then by the end of it, he was like, "I have nothing."
So where did all the publishing go for this song? Or had you
He
not written
sold
it
all of
yet?
it.
Oh,
He wrote all
right at the
those when he was, like,
beginning.
18,
Oh
19, 20,
god.
and then
Oh
he
my
sold
god.
all
If you
he
knew
was
this
not
song, I mean, it would have made millions and millions and millions and millions of
they still
dollars.
use this song everywhere. They
Oh my god,
still
I still
play
hear it on
all
the radio all the time or in every shopping center.
commercials use
Yeah.
it. It's a very popular song, but if I were to say it, it would give away who
Yeah, yeah.
it is, and that
There's usually more than one writer, but let's not narrow
no,
it
right,
down
for
for them.
sure.
So getting back to the marriage thing, so he almost got you into debt. Okay, so I would not get married again though, because I mean, who knows? Things can change
Mhm,
as they usually do. Like you grow and evolve and change. But I mean, I did a good 7 years of it, and it was really nice in a lot of parts of it, and then it wasn't for some, and you just realize that you're different and it's not going to last the test of time. But I just don't see it being necessary anymore. I'm not into lock someone down. I don't want to be locked down. Not like that. Like, I think that a relationship should just flow and be amazing for as long as it is. And then you shake each other's hand at the end of the day and move on. Now, sometimes maybe I mean, I could meet my soulmate in my mind
mhm.
and like go for it again, but I don't think I would need to go and get married.
I mean,
I
being
think,
married is a huge hassle, getting divorced is a
yeah.
huge hassle. I
Extra thing of, like, having to go through a process of, like
It can be a huge hassle, and
yeah,
some of them, like, the longer you're married, the longer it
yeah,
takes, the more you have together, the more it takes. I
yeah.
personally, I would get remarried.
Yeah?
I would, but also I would do things a lot differently. I would have a very strict prenup.
Go into it with the well, actually, I had a prenup.
Strict.
I had a prenup, and I was still able to take it was California, I was still able to
Yeah.
take a little bit just because it had been so long and, like,
Well, they
also
have to keep up your lifestyle after 5 years, right?
well, even in a prenup, if you're in a state of like California and you can say like, well, after a certain amount of years, like prenup really only affects you in the first couple of years. So they'll be like, there's rules written here. But if like things become intertwined, unless you have the best lawyer in the world, it's like, well, dude, we've made each other's lives so much better financially from being together. And also now I'm dependent on that person or whatever it is. I mean, I did not profit like any kind of.
Well, I would if I got divorced and I was with someone that helped build me up, we have a business together, we have a house together,
Mhm.
all of that, I wouldn't mind splitting it because that's what's right. What
Exactly. Yeah.
bothered me is when I went into a marriage with nothing,
Yeah.
they had stuff, and then I'm gonna come out still with nothing
And you've just given all of that time
even
with
deeper in the
them.
hole.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, like, if
No.
you're able to, you know, pick up the slack for where they need the extra
Of
time to
course,
go out
that's
and work,
marriage.
then they are out there earning all this money while you're being an unpaid
Yeah.
person in their
Yeah.
household for all of that time. Plus, also time, your time is valuable. So if you spend a lot of time on that person, then you decide it dissolves. What they still have everything that they came into it plus more, and you have less time, less
Mhm.
opportunity, in some would say, so like I do believe in people being able to, after a certain amount of time, look at
I
the
think
assets together.
everything's situational. a lot of, when we always ask or I ask people like, what
Mm.
questions do you have? And a lot of them actually say, is it necessary to get married in a long-term relationship? Should I get married just because I've been with this person for X amount of years? So I personally, if I'm with someone for more than 5 years, I don't necessarily need to be married to them,
Yeah.
but I need to know after that amount of time that if I spend another
Yeah.
5 years with you and now I'm in my 40s, like,
Yeah.
this is not a joke.
Yeah.
So however that person can make me
Yeah,
feel like
yeah,
that, I don't
yeah.
need to sign a legal
Well, because 'cause you've
contract.
given up so much of your life, why should you not, benefit at all from all of those years? Because if you were out there ignoring that person, doing your own thing, working your own job and whatever, then that's fine, but if you're gonna dedicate your life to that person or even just, like, you have an agreement where I'm not working, you are, you
But I
can't walk
also
out. It's an investment into your lives, into your relationship. You can't walk out with no return after all
Right.
those years because you'll be at a deficit of years.
Right, I agree, and I also, at the same time, would say if you don't wanna get married, you don't need to get married. I've known couples to be together 10, 15 years, never get married. I knew a makeup artist, actually, she was with someone since she was 16, and she had to been in her 40s, and I remember when she got married to the guy that she had been with since 16, and she was saying, "If it's not broken, don't fix it," and she said that she got married because their health insurance went down so much lower, and it helped her taxes,
Ah,
and that
yeah.
was the only reason they got married. And I was like, "Well, you've been with that person for forever. You're basically
Yeah.
married. It
Well, they're
probably
also
didn't
using
make."
you yeah, people are when you're married, they're using you as a tax write-off too, so, like,
So
because 'cause
I
you're a
see that.
dependent
I see that
if
that
you're not working,
that
obviously.
makes sense to me. A lot of that makes sense. And then, but at the same time, if you're with someone for 10 years and you don't
If
wanna get
someone's
married,
using
then
you to
no.
write you off write off losses on the taxes, you should at least benefit from it down the track. They have benefited from you.
There's beneficial things
Yeah.
to getting married, but
It's
also at the same
it's
time,
not just about gold diggers trying to take money. I mean, your
no.
time is valuable, if you have an agreement, obviously you do, if you're not working and he is, that was your job is to not work and keep up the house or whatever.
We're really upset about this marriage
I know,
thing,
I am
really.
so mad about this.
Also, how do you feel about kids? Like, what if you're with someone for 10 years
Oh,
and they're like, I might wanna have kids," but you're like, "Absolutely not." What do you do?
I would think about, like, whether I would weigh up the pros and cons of, like, how badly I wanted kids and how badly I wanted sometimes you can't have it all, so I would be like, "Am I willing to forfeit this beautiful relationship that I really love and compromise by not even
Do you
compromise?"
want kids?
Yeah, I do actually, yes, but I'm just thinking, well, I guess so in my own head then because I do want kids, yes, it would be a deal breaker because I would be like, "You don't, like, want my kids or, like, just even kids. Like, I want
Kids
that."
can
And
be
if
a
you're gonna
lot.
just be, "What, we can't be in the same room," you'll be like, "They don't exist to me. I don't have your kids." That is gonna be very weird for
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Like, at least, like, be a step or whatever. You don't even have to like, I just that would be a deal breaker because it's something that I want. But then again, if I was put in a situation where I just love this person so much and they explained it to me really well and they were like, "I've already done that. I just really don't, have it in me." I mean, it's a tough one, but I just think that, yeah, maybe there are situations where you could be with someone and go, "Okay, fine. I'm gonna not have the children that I wanted." Although I just don't think that's gonna
It
work.
might change.
Mm,
I was obsessed with having children for 26 years. Even when I was a child, baby dolls, all that
right.
kind of stuff. I wanted to be a mother so badly, and it wasn't until this year where I was like, I actually might be okay with not having any children.
Right.
Um, but
Why? Why do you think that changed?
I can't have kids.
You can't?
I can't. So, for me to have one, I shoulda had if I wanted to have children, I shoulda had them at 18, 19, 20. Unfortunately, that was my only real chance to have children. So, for me to be able to at least have one, the amount of money that it would cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars to
Did you find that out recently?
recently, yeah.
Oh my god, I
Yeah,
did not know this.
and so it would cost me a lot of money.
Yeah.
I'm really high
Are
risk.
you sad about that?
Well, I still kind of struggle with it, I'm not gonna
Mm.
lie. And
Oh, I'm so sorry.
but also at the same time, I'm kinda like, I'm okay with I don't know how to once I heard that it was gonna be so
When
difficult
did you
for
find
me,
this out? How do I not know
um,
this? This is
I
crazy.
found this out the last time I was pregnant. They were like, "You can't do this." I've had 6
Oh, wait, so you
miscarriages.
can get pregnant, but you can't they
I
tell you don't
can't
have the baby?
stay pregnant.
Oh, you
Um,
can't sleep it.
so I have endometriosis. Do you know what that
Oh,
is?
no.
So it is I know not a lot of people know what it is. It's when tissues and scar tissues and other tissues grow on your reproductive
Oh,
system. So my right ovary scar tissue attached to it to then cause my right ovary to pull down to my uterus. So
oh.
actually when I walk, my right ovary pulls when I'm walking
Can you
by my
feel it?
leg. Yeah, I can
Oh.
feel it ripping.
And what do you do to treat
Surgeries,
endometriosis?
there's no real treatment. It's a very it's one
Uh,
of the most painful things that can happen to someone. It's hereditary. So I have endometriosis, I have PCOS, which means that my ovaries are covered in cysts. So,
uh,
it causes your hormone imbalances to go up and
that's
down, which
is it
hormones
hereditary?
that's
Like,
hereditary too, which to stay pregnant, your hormones need to be correct. They need to be regulated, and otherwise that's how you have
right,
miscarriages. And then I have fibroids, which I've had removed, which are tumors that are not cancerous that grow
thank
in the
God.
uterus. So there can't be tumors in your uterus when you're trying to carry a child, you'll have a miscarriage.
Oh
So I
my
have all 3
God.
of those
Is it
things.
one of those things though where it can happen at all? Like my sister was told, and she had cysts on her
Yes.
ovaries
Yeah.
that she couldn't. And then so every time that she would fall pregnant, she'd be like, I'm gonna do it because I don't know if I'll be able to have children. They said
That's
that I can't, and she's had like 4 or 5 kids
yeah,
now.
I
Not
mean,
to say that would
I
be the case with you, but maybe one day though,
maybe,
like,
right? I can always have surgeries to fix the scar tissue. I can have medication that will help me with my PCOS, and I can constantly have the fibroids removed, but that's a tough life to live, is
mm.
all those added hormones and added surgeries.
I did
Mine's
not
really
know that.
bad,
I mean, it's so raw and emotional for you to like let this out on this podcast. I
I
mean,
mean, I
I
was
and the fact that
open
I didn't know. I mean, I'm not going to make it about me, but
I
like
was
that's
open, very open about my
uh,
last miscarriage because it was tough on me. It was really
right.
because that's when they were really like, "You can't do this again," and it's physically exhausting to
Oh, and with the hormones and everything like that
just
going.
really messes with your hormones.
Oh God,
I was
that's
in
so.
Mexico, I remember. I was on vacation in Mexico, and I
Oh,
found out right before,
oh, and then you had to
and
go on a Mexico
well, I found
vacation.
yes, the day before I was in the hospital, and I remember my friend and my boyfriend were like, are we gonna go to Mexico?" And I was like, "We're going. We're gonna have a really good time now because
Oh,
I'm no
I
longer
can
pregnant."
drink.
Yeah,
Oh,
and we
oh
had a great
man.
time. So, I have a great support system about it, though. I really
Good,
do. Yeah.
good. Well, you seem like you have a good, head around it anyway. I mean, and who knows? Who
You never
knows? We
know, and
don't
maybe
know
one
for
day I might
sure.
wanna do in vitro and all that, but I'm sure they're sick of
Well,
talking
there's
me
time. I mean,
talking
you're
about
young, so there's
my
still
reproductive
time.
system. But I that's one
Uh,
of my most asked questions is when I'm gonna get married and when am I gonna have kids,
see,
so
so these people ask sometimes, and they can be really
real
yeah,
questions,
like
yeah.
we got some tweet the other day from a guy on Twitter saying, "What do you guys know about it? Stop lying to everyone. Stop talking about love and dating. You've never been in a relationship." And I was literally like, I was just married for 7 years. Elsa has been married 3 times and been in
And
long term
yes,
relationships. But here's the thing: we never said we're offering our take on a subject.
yes,
We're
we
not
always say
professionals
that.
at this, but also for a
I think
person
I'm
to
a
not even know us and say, you've never been in a relationship. I mean, what an uneducated
I
argument. It's
know.
just like, I was like, what are you talking about? Do we know each other?
And
Like,
I feel like I am an expert on dating. I've dated so much off and
yes,
on,
well,
and
that's the
I really
thing.
feel
People get together and talk about what goes on with dating. Like,
yeah.
we have guests lined up that are psychiatrists and
Mhm,
doctors. And
mhm.
like, oh my God, let us have our moment to get
Yeah.
our, like, literally people can be so cruel and not know what they're meaning about. Like, so tracking back to your, miscarriages and things like that, or like, why aren't you married? Or you're dumb and you've never been in with a boyfriend. It's like, I just haven't shared that with you. Like, who
Yeah,
are
I
you
mean,
to?
a lot
And
of
I might have painful stories behind why, or,
well, a lot of the stuff that I'm sharing now is stuff that I've processed and that I don't think I
mm.
could share even a year ago or even a few months
Well,
ago,
yeah,
you
when
know?
you're ready. That's why it's just like, I mean, good for our
Yeah.
podcast.
Hopefully one day I'll be blessed with someone who has children that needs a
Yeah.
parent,
Oh,
you
that's so
know?
nice.
So, because I do want children in my life. They don't need to be mine, or whatever.
So we've just been like having the best time chatting. I mean, not the best time, but
We're
we've
talking
been chatting. Sorry.
like
Oh
always.
my God. We always
I'm
do. We go
having the
off on a
best time.
tangent. We have time for a few questions
Yeah,
more. We haven't even gotten
that's
to the questions
cool.
yet, but you know what? That's why we're here every week. Um, okay, so the question that I'm gonna go for first is there a limit on the amount of time you have to hang out with his friends? They're always over. How much time do I need to spend so I can still be the cool girlfriend?
That's a hard one because it's very important for your significant other's friends to like you, but also they can't be around all the time. I would say
Well,
every
because then
2
they need to
weeks
stop
for the
hanging.
week for,
Yeah,
like, a weekend thing, and that even to me seems like a lot,
yeah.
but, like, going out on, like, a Friday, Saturday every other weekend seems
So
to
why
be.
can't they go out? Why are they always over at your house? You have obviously made it too comfortable. Stop buying food for the fridge and stop.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the times, I don't know, like, a lot of times I feel like the guys or girls' friends can come over way too much. I've been in situations like that or relationships like that. It's very annoying.
Well, then you're
Um,
or like, you don't wanna be the mum role either, where you're, like, getting them
no,
snacks and doing, like, the whole thing and trying
hosting
to hosting people all the time. I mean, that's so I reckon so I
every other
like what
2
you
weeks
said,
or
every
every
2
other 2
weeks
weeks
for a weekend of, like,
going
whatever.
out. And I would maybe even encourage them, hey, why
Yeah,
don't you guys try to
because
go
even
out?
once a
And
week is too
that's
much,
a lot. If I thought about, because the week goes by so quick.
and you need to hang out together, and if you're at work 5 days of the week, and then it's the weekend,
No,
then
no,
every
I
second
say
week.
every 2 weeks, Friday,
I
Saturday, whatever.
I love that. What to do when your partner doesn't believe in therapy and thinks it's stupid, but you'd like to try it? Should he have to go to satisfy your curiosity?
I would say yes. I think therapy in a relationship is very important. I use therapy in relationships for various reasons. I used it in my past relationship to get him away from me. I started him in therapy in hopes that his therapist would say, you guys can't be together. And it worked.
That his therapist would say, "You guys can't be together?" Oh,
I
so
mean,
you
that's
made the
really
therapist break up with him. You are
I
an
manipulated that one,
to
and
a
I
whole
don't
nother
even think
level.
that was manipulation, but
You wanted him to hear it from her.
I'm very active in therapy, I've always been, and I was like, "I think you need a therapist," and then when he would say something or come to or, like, I'm like, "You gotta leave me alone," he would reach out and be like, how would you, how do you think your therapist would feel about you reaching out to me?" And he'd be like, "Not good." And I was like, "Okay." Like, I was using it as the
You oh my god, this is so good. You are so, like, manipulated to another level. You
well,
went around and then used it
it's a
even
healthy
post
way to
breakup.
manipulate, in my opinion, because then he's going to his therapist. We couldn't be together. I didn't wanna be with him. He wasn't listening. So it's almost like I used a third person to be like, keep on top of him, like,
Yeah,
because he wasn't actively going and seeing other people. So he was bothering me so much where I was like, can you please go talk to your therapist about this?
that
Like,
is just the best way I've heard for anyone to break up with someone ever.
but this person sounds like they want therapy for
Yes.
themselves and their partner. I would actually recommend, even if you don't feel like you need a therapist, a couples therapist, start off with couples therapy
Mm.
and say, we don't really have that many issues, but we
And
want to.
also go for her or him, it doesn't
I
specify,
would.
but
I
go
I would
just
try.
to, like, set I mean, how hard can it be to sit there? You think it's
It's
stupid, so
not.
what? Sit through the stupid thing. What's the worst thing that's gonna happen? Your partner's gonna get off your back because you went to therapy with them.
And this is kind of where that app comes in
How
that
is
I was
that
talking.
stupid? What are you hiding?
Yeah, I mean that there could be that too, but this is kind of where that app comes into when I was talking about that paired app
Oh,
where that's created by
tell us what the
relationship.
paired app
So it's
is.
called Paired. I use it. I know multiple other people that use it. It was created by relationship therapists and sex therapists, and basically quiz you pick quizzes and it helps open up difficult conversations that tend to destroy relationships. So you pick any category, and they're all obviously based off of like, how do I tell my partner, so you'll ask you, what's lacking in your sex life? And you type, I need more variety of positions. And that way, that person, you don't feel so attacked.
Yes, and it's just writing it into the ledger or the
You have
journal,
time to
and
type
they have
it.
access to it.
And you have time to type it to where you can word it to where it doesn't hurt
Yes.
that person's feelings. Because I know personally, sometimes when I'm having a conversation
Yeah,
with someone I'm in a relationship with, I'm very cold and quick to be like,
yeah.
and it comes across as me being negative, but I feel like for this, it helps me be like, I really appreciate when you fuck me and doggy, but I would love for there to be
Yeah.
more of a variety, and you're able to kind of think about that and
Uh,
put it down.
and writing out a letter to someone, like, I've heard that before a
I
bunch
write
of
letters
times.
all the
It's
time
like,
too.
it's just much easier to communicate because you have that time. You don't just hit send right away. You're, like, formulating it and not word vomiting
Yeah.
the wrong thing.
Yeah, so that
I
paired
like
app
that.
is
Paired?
paired, and
Mm.
there's a lot of other quizzes. I mean, it could be like, you need to talk about stuff from your past, and there's so many categories that you could pick from. I think it's very helpful.
I love that. Well, that's good for that couple. Try paired first, maybe. Uh,
Yeah.
all right. The next one is I don't want to go down on my partner. Oh, I want to go down on my partner more, but I don't think he's that into it. Is there a technique you can suggest to make it the best head he's ever got?
You know what I'm gonna suggest?
What?
Play with the prostate.
Oh,
Fingering.
but what if he doesn't like the
That might be
butthole
too
thing? Because a
far.
lot of guys
That might be
get
too
scared of
far.
the butthole fingering.
So sometimes it matters how sloppy it is and how wet it is,
Right.
how tight you're gripping the cock. Sometimes you need to move a little bit faster, move a little bit slower,
So
but
is it unique to each penis then that you need to
I think this person needs to ask them, "What do you like orally? I love to give head. I love to go down on you. What do
They
you?"
seem to not like it, although I think they're just assuming that, so
I mean, I went through a stage where I hated people going down on me. I
yeah,
really did, and I would be
it's a
like, "I don't."
seasonal thing. It's out this season.
I would communicate with that person and say,
Yeah.
"What do you
What
like?"
are the like, a couple of tips, though, that you're like, most people like this, that you've noticed while giving head to people?
Wet,
Wet, a
wet,
lot of spit,
a
a
lot of
lot of
spit,
spit.
and tighter grip.
Tighter grip and a lot of spit. I
Yes.
like that. Okay, cool, cool. How many fights over silly little things is too many? When is it time for us to call quits if it's just nagging on both sides, but neither of us want to give up?
Yeah, seems to be the foundation of everyone breaking up, is little
That's the
fights.
slope to like getting there to the breakup.
Yes. I mean, when it gets to that point, you need to say, "I'm either gonna stop nagging or we're gonna move on." So you both need to be on the same
Sometimes you just
level.
need to do that dance until you don't, though, too, right?
That's
Because nobody
true.
else can tell you that, even though, and you go to your friends and say, I'm going to get rid of him, I'm going to get rid of him. Then you
Yeah.
don't. You go back to them. It's like, well, you know what? Just let them do their dance until it's over. And it does sound like to me that that's like on its way out, but there's just nothing you can do. Even before you're ready to do it, you're not going to be ready to do it. You know what? You just got to keep doing the motions, doing the nagging, doing the fighting.
Some people don't realize that they're nagging also. I know people I've watched
Mm,
couples, I've been in relationships, I've been the nagger, and I'm like, I didn't realize that I was nagging, and
right.
and previously, I don't think that the other person realized they were nagging. I think they were just telling me stuff, and I was taking it to
Uh,
heart, and so sometimes maybe there needs to be a conversation about, "You're nagging me too much, you're too hard on me, you're."
right. That could, yeah, maybe last ditched effort to save the situation is like,
But you have to stop yourself too.
yeah,
When
well,
you
because it can build up though, because you're like so mad at that person nagging at
It's
you, you
true.
combat it back with that. But like, yeah, ooh, yeah.
Space,
Mm.
when it comes to nagging, sometimes you need a
Let's
little bit of
give them a chance
space.
to miss you. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, nagging is annoying.
All right. Well,
Or
I have
we
one
always
more. No, I have one more. What's the best type of lube for anal? Water-based or silicon-based for anal specifically?
I think silicone,
Silicone.
because
Yeah, I gotta
water-based
agree.
just your body just
Absorbs
absorbs it
it.
right
Oh,
away.
yeah.
I think silicone for everything, though. Water-based always ends up turning sticky,
Oh, no one wants
and then
that.
your body absorbs
Or
it.
if there's any little speck of dirt or anything anywhere, like, it's just gonna, like, make you seem really worse. I mean, I do shower, I promise. Um,
Your
I thought that's kinda gross.
speck of dirt where
Nowhere. Alright, well, this was fun.
Yes, it was.
How
Yet
fun
again.
was it? Like, rate it from, like, 9 to
10 out
10.
of 10.
Okay, yeah, good. You
Always,
can only pick
always
9 or 10.
always a 10 out of 10 for me. I love chatting and,
Hearing ourselves talk. Hearing
eh,
ourselves.
Yeah, is this gonna be your
Oh,
new
okay, yeah.
single?
Yeah, hearing myself. I'm hearing myself. Okay, sorry, let's not, well, we're at the end of today. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you,
Make
guys.
sure you click those subscribe, follow us on socials. Heartbreakers with Elsa Jean James on Instagram and heartbreakerspodcast.com to submit your questions and sign up for anything and watch this on YouTube embedded into the site if you are listening on a device that's not a video situation. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Cool. Bye,
guys.
guys.